Good day everyone. Today, we will tackle about fossil fuels. Are you ready? Okay, let's go. Let's start our discussion.
So what is fossil fuels? Fossil fuels are natural energy sources formed from the remains of ancient plants and animals over millions of years. They include coal, oil or petroleum, and natural gas. Fossil fuels are the most widely used energy sources in the world due to their high energy content and relative ease of extraction and transport. So now let's proceed to the types of fossil fuels. First, we have coal. It is a solid fuel used primarily for electricity generation and industrial processes. Next, oil. A liquid fuel refined into gasoline, diesel, and other products for transportation and heating. Last, natural gas. A gaseous fuel used for electricity generation, heating, and as a raw material in chemical industries. So now let's talk about advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: it has a high energy density, established infrastructures for extractions, refining, and distribution, reliable and consistent energy supply. Disadvantages: non-renewable, finite supply that will eventually run out, major contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, leading to climate change. Environmental impacts such as oil spills, habitat destructions, and air pollution. Health risk from air and water pollution. Alternatives to fossil fuels. Renewable energy sources like solar, wind, hydropower, and geothermal are being developed and adopted to reduce dependence on fossil fuels and mitigate their environmental impact.
Now, let's proceed to fossil fuels formation, uses, impacts, and global use. Formation of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are created through a process called carbonization. Millions of years ago, organic materials accumulated in swamps, oceans, or other environments without oxygen. Over time, this material was buried under layers of sediment. Heat, pressure, and chemical change gradually transformed it into coal, oil, or natural gas, depending on the conditions. First, coal formation. Formed mainly from plant material in ancient swamps. The stages of coal formation are peat, the earliest stage of coal; lignite, brown coal with a low carbon content; bituminous, soft coal with a higher carbon content; anthracite, hard coal with the highest carbon content and energy density. Second, oil and natural gas formation, derived from marine microorganisms and algae, as this material was buried under sediment heat and pressure, convert them into hydrocarbons. Uses of fossil fuels. Fossil fuels power much of modern life. Here are some key uses. Electricity generation. Coal and natural gas are burned in power plants to produce electricity. Transportation. Oil products like gasoline and diesel fuel vehicles. Heating. Natural gas and oil heat homes and industrial spaces. Industrial applications. Fossil fuels are raw materials in producing plastics, chemicals, fertilizers, and synthetic fibers. Cooking. In many places, natural gas is used for cooking. Environmental impacts. Number 1. Greenhouse gas emissions. Burning fossil fuels releases carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, contributing to global warming. Number 2. air pollution. Coal and oil combustion produce harmful pollutants including sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and particulate matter, leading to respiratory illnesses and environmental issues like acid rain. Number 3. Water pollution. Oil spills and leaks during extraction and transportation harm marine ecosystems. 4th, land degradation. Mining coal and extracting oil and gas disturbs ecosystems, deforests land, and reduces biodiversity. Global use. Fossil fuels currently supply about 80% of the world's energy. However, dependence on fossil fuels varies by country. For example, coal dominates energy production in countries like China and India. Oil, leading energy source in countries with large transportation sectors, such as the US and Saudi Arabia. Natural gas, popular in Europe and North America for heating and electricity.
Now let's proceed to efforts to reduce fossil fuel use. To combat climate change and reduce resilience of fossil fuel, governments and organizations are transitioning to renewables. Solar, wind, and hydropower are rapidly growing energy sources. Improving efficiency. Energy-efficient applied and vehicles reduce fossil fuel consumption. Carbon capture and storage. Technologies that capture carbon dioxide from fossil fuel use and store it underground. Phasing out coal. Many countries are closing coal plants and replacing them with cleaner alternatives. Now let's proceed fossil fuel reverses and availability. Global reverses. Coal, the most abundant fossil fuel with reverses projected to last over 100 years at current consumption rates. Major reverses are in the United States, Russia, China, and India. Oil. Proven reverses are concentrated in the Middle East, Venezuela, Canada, and Russia. At current consumption levels, all reverses may last approximately 50 years. Natural gas. Found abundantly in Russia, Iran, Qatar, the US, and the Turkmenistan. It is estimated to last for about 50 and 60 years.
Now let's proceed to unconventional sources. Shale oil and gas, extracted using hydraulic fracturing or fracking. Tar sands, thick, viscous oil found in places like Canada. Methane hydrates, ice-like substances containing methane found beneath the ocean floor. Extraction processes. First is coal mining. Surface mining, removing soil and rock layers to access coal seams. For example, strip mining. Underground mining, extracting coal from deep underground using tunnels and shafts. Oil and natural gas extraction. Drilling. Wells are drilled to extract crude oil and natural gas. Offshore drilling. Platforms extract oil and gas beneath the seabed. Hydraulic fracturing or fracking. High-pressure water, sand, and chemicals are used to fracture rock and release oil or gas. Fossil fuel dependence. First is economic importance. Fossil fuels drive the global economy, powering industries, transportation, and households. Oil is especially critical for geopolitics, as countries with significant reserves often hold political and economic influence. Energy security. Countries reliant on fossil fuel imports are vulnerable to price fluctuations and supply disruptions. Efforts are underway to diversify energy sources and reduce reliance on fossil fuel import.
Let's proceed to its combustion. Releases energy from electricity, heat, and mechanical power. Efficiency varies. Natural
Okay, let's proceed to the future trends. The first one is renewable energy growth. Solar, wind, and hydropower are rapidly growing as cost-effective and sustainable alternatives. The second one is electric vehicles. Electric vehicles are reducing oil demand in the transportation sector. The third one is technological innovation. Advances in carbon capture and storage are helping reduce emissions from fossil fuels. Biofuels and synthetic fuels are being developed as cleaner energy sources. The last one is decentralized energy. Small-scale, local renewable energy systems reduce reliance on large fossil fuel power plants. And that's all.